Today I'm going to show you how to make hot chocolate stirrers. You will need 100 grams of chocolate chopped up as small as you possibly can, 1.5 tablespoons of icing sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and as an optional, any marshmallows or hundreds and thousands or sprinkles. If you want to add a flavouring to it, just read the back of the packet and make sure that there is no water included. If you add a flavouring to chocolate that has water in it, it will curdle and split and it will be no good. So anything that's like, if you've got the actual vanilla pods where you can scrape the seeds out and put those in, that will be spot on. Anything like that, just make sure it doesn't have water in it. And the equipment we will need some flavourless oil, so I've used sunflower oil, a pastry brush. I've got wooden skewers, but you can have wooden spoons or plastic spoons, anything like that that you can set your chocolate into so then you can stir it. And an ice cube tray or some sort of tray to set the chocolate in. You could use little yogurt pots that have been washed out. If you've got like a plastic egg tray, then you could use that. Anything that's like that sort of like ice cube tray size. Firstly, we need to grease the ice tray mould. So just using a little bit of the oil just to make sure that you coat the inside of the ice cube tray or whichever mould that you're using. So firstly, we're going to melt the chocolate in the microwave. We're going to melt it in 20-second bursts until it is just melted. This way the crystals that we want the chocolate to form into, as it sets, they melt over a certain temperature. So because I don't have a candy thermometer, I am doing this method so then it just melts. So then that way it is more likely to keep those crystals that we want. Then once it is completely melted, add your icing sugar and your cocoa powder to your chocolate and then give it a really good mix. Then spoon this mixture into your already greased mould. Then I'm just going to tap the mould onto the counter. This is to try and level out the top of the chocolate. It'll also get rid of any air bubbles, because if there is large air bubbles in there it could crack, causing, once it's set, it could then crack in half once you put it in the hot milk and then it won't mix in fully. Then we're just going to pop those optional extras on top, so the sprinkles and the marshmallows. And then finally I'm just going to pop my wooden skewers in the top, and then I'm just going to leave those to set. If you want them to set quickly, you can pop them in the fridge, but they will set at room temperature, so I've just popped them on the side and left them for an hour to set. Then once set, we need to get them out the moulds. Now I didn't grease my tray enough, so mine are stuck in. So what I'm doing is just trying to free it up a little bit with a knife, which can be dangerous. So if you don't want to do that, so what I can suggest is popping your tray in a little bit of hot water. Now you don't want the hot water to go over the edges of the tray, because otherwise it will spoil the chocolate, but that should just melt the outside enough to be able to free it to pull it out. And then to use your hot chocolate stirrers, you'll need to warm up some milk. I pop my milk in the microwave and I pop it on for a minute at a time, then give it a stir and then another minute, but you can heat it up on the stovetop if you like. And then just simply pop the stirrer in and give it a good mix around until it's all mixed in and combined and it's really creamy and lovely. And then if you are giving these as presents to people, I just put mine in a little plastic bag and then tie a little tie around that says, you know, enjoy me in hot milk. If you have used wooden skewers like I have, you can write on the little handles. Granted, my pen ran out halfway, which is why it's a little bit messy. But if you've got a pen that works, you can write on the edges of the handles. Just a normal ballpoint pen will work on wood. I wouldn't use anything like a Sharpie because it tends to bleed. And there you have it. That's how you make a hot chocolate stirrer.